All right, we're in our second draft here on DraftKings. This is the 15 million pool millionaire, 2 million to first place. Absolutely insane. And we're on the clock here. Pick four. Draft starts in a minute and a half about. If you guys are just playing best ball on Underdog or whatever, definitely check out DraftKings. The best promo they got going right now is draft one, get one. So you might as well get in here and do two drafts. $20, then you're going to get a free ticket. And this is essentially my free draft here. And if you haven't signed up for DraftKings Fantasy, just the sportsbook, you do get another bonus for depositing into the fantasy. So check the link down below to sign up for DraftKings and play over there. And I'm definitely interested here at pick four, what's going to come to me. If you didn't watch the first video, it'll be the end card also probably in the description, but on the channel. We definitely had an interesting draft, I thought, where, I kind of went heavy on receiver. So this one, I think my plan is to wait on receiver. You can't really dictate what you're going to do in your draft, but I'm hoping to get some good running backs, maybe a quarterback early. But I know at DraftKings from the first draft, some of the top quarterbacks went really early, like low 20s. And then I also really want a Steelers receiver team with Aaron Rodgers because the receivers Pickens and DK Metcalf are going so low because they don't have a quarterback. But I think it's like a 90% chance at this point that Rodgers signs with the Steelers. And you can get Rodgers like round 16, 17, and Pickens at like pick 80. So let's see what we get at pick four. And this isn't a live stream, so it will go faster than a normal draft because I'm going to be editing this. So first guy goes Chase. All right, so this guy went Bijan third. Honestly, if Bijan came to me at four, I was thinking about going CeeDee Lamb. Now I'm going Justin Jefferson at four. I think a great start here. But I did say I want to go heavy on running back, so I thought we were going to be in a good spot to do that. I think Genty in the top 8 is too high. I still wouldn't be taking him to like 10, 11, 12. And I'm just not in on Bijan fully still at this high either. So now we got a long ways to come back to our pick at 21. I've seen A.J. Brown coming around. My first draft, he went 24. I've seen him on Underdog draft streams getting taken in the top 15. I think someone even took him like 13. So maybe Brown will come way back around to me again here. That'd be nice. If not, I may reach up a little bit for my first running back. And man, I'm coming up. I would have loved to be in the 8 or 9 here. Getting Nico Collins or Thomas with 16, 17 is crazy. So we are coming up. I'm probably going to go A.J. Brown unless he gets sniped from me here with the next pick, which is entirely possible. And that guy goes Bucky Irving. Took the entire clock to take Bucky Irving. I thought he was going to auto draft A.J. Brown. So I'm taking A.J. Brown here at 21. And so far, the plan of taking some top running backs and waiting on wide receiver has not played out here. But at 28, we're coming back around quickly. I think there's definitely some... Okay, well, I was going to get McBride if he came back at 28, but now hopefully means one of these running backs I was actually eyeing at 21, if Brown didn't go, could fall down to 28, which would be awesome, especially because... Well, we'll see if this guy took Jacobs, unfortunately. These guys both took running backs. And at 28, I actually don't mind Chase Brown, who is ranked 31 and has an ADP of 31, taking him a few spots ahead. I just don't know. Oh, man, someone took Chase Brown. That is crazy. So my entire plan here has been thrown off. And now we're getting T. Higgins. So, okay, this has been the complete opposite of what I wanted to do. But we went Jefferson at 4, which I think is great. A.J. Brown at 21, which I think is insane. I think you should be taking him like 13, 14, 15. T. Higgins at 28. I've seen people taking him at like 22, 23. So 3 receivers that I think are great value. Complete opposite of what I wanted to do heading into this draft, but sometimes it just falls like that. Now, hopefully this next one, I need a running back. I really thought Chase Brown was going to be fall to me at 28. Okay, well, both those guys went And I don't know what's going on with these guys taking an unstacked Hurts and an unstacked Burrow at 38 and 39, just way too high. Um, okay, we're coming up. I don't know what to do with this pick, to be honest. I mean, the receiver value here is just insane. And I don't like any of these running backs. I'm going to wait till my next pick to take a running back. I might go four straight receivers to start this. Okay, and Rashi Rice at 45 comes to us, who's ranked 39th. It's just too good a value for me to pass up. As my run on receivers keeps going, four straight receivers. I need a running back next time at 52. I can't wait till 69. And I do have some guys in mind at running back now. Kamara, possibly, but I think I like maybe Chuba Hubbard for this next pick. And then a guy who I didn't even know who he was last video, Johnson on the Steelers. I really like him actually. So at pick 69, I'm targeting him coming back to me, hopefully, for my second running back. And if not, I would probably go Aaron Jones. But then I do think there's some slept on running backs like DeAndre Swift at 87, Pacheco at 96, and Warren at 104, even though I like Johnson. I think those guys are all too low, and I wouldn't mind taking them ahead of ADP. So we got Hubbard or Kamara here. And I'm going to go ahead and just do Chuba Hubbard, one pick ahead of his ADP to finally get a running back as Kamara goes with the next pick. All right, we're coming up. I had a feeling this guy would go Mahomes because he had Worthy. I was going to wait for him to come back around at 76 to go Mahomes and stack Rice. So literally none of my receivers are going to get stacked except for Jefferson, who I'm going to get McCarthy. But for this one, we can go Judkins or Johnson. I'm going to go Judkins, and then I think Johnson's going to come back around to me hopefully here in a few picks, and I'll take him one pick past ADP. We'll see though, because this guy in front of me only has one running back. Okay, so this draft, I'm waiting now on tight end quarterback. I'm going to go a third running back in a row with my pick coming up here. I think some good options we still have on the board for sure at running back. We got Johnson, Aaron Jones, and then I even like Swift at 87. If both these guys get taken in a row, I honestly wouldn't even mind taking Swift 11 picks before his ADP. All right, so Johnson does fall to me. I'm going to take him. So now we went four straight receivers, all behind ADP. And then we went three straight running backs, two rookies who project to be the leader as far as carries, and Chuba Hubbard, who also expects to be the leader, even with Rico Dowdle there. I think that Hubbard's still going to be the guy. And then with 93, I think we're going to go tight end. And I noticed the tight ends are going way earlier on DraftKings than they are on FanDuel. Like Jonnu Smith is ranked 89, which is a lot higher than it is on, sorry, not FanDuel, Underdog. But I would go Jonnu if he falls to me. If not, I'm going to go Evan Ingram, I think, with this pick 97. I'm almost certain he's going to be there. Also, I like David Njoku as a third option. And I really just don't know if most people on here don't know what they're doing, because an unstacked Burrow, unstacked Hurts, unstacked Jaden Daniels, unstacked Lamar Jackson. This guy took an unstacked Bo Nix, unstacked Josh Allen so far. So it's definitely messed up me and people who are trying to stack quarterbacks with the receivers. And I have obviously four receivers, and one of them may go stacked and the others may go unstacked. And Hawkinson finally goes at 87. And I'm going to get one of my tight ends, Jonnu, hopefully here with this upcoming pick. And Jonnu does fall to us, a guy that I loved last year. I said it in my first video. I think I had him in 6 of 8 teams last year, and I was taking him, in like the 17th, 18th round. And he was really good. Now he's all the way up to the 90s. So, okay, we're coming up at 100. We got to look at the entire board here. We still got Tyrone Tracy, Scatabo we could do for our third rookie running back. We could go Najee Harris, who at 101 is kind of insane. We could go another tight end with Evan Ingram. I'm going to go ahead and go Scatabo. So my team now, we got 2 running backs, Hubbard, Judkins, 4 receivers, Jefferson, A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, Rashee Rice, and Johnson and Scatabo as 2 more running backs for our 3rd and 4th running back, with Jonnu as our lone tight end. Okay, we're not coming back around for a while, but something to keep an eye on. J.J. McCarthy, who would be my first quarterback, and I may consider him at 117, which is really high because this guy right after that has Jordan Addison, and he only has 1 quarterback on his roster, so he might take McCarthy with one of these 2 picks. But I got to see who's there. I could take my second tight end now, which could be a good idea because Jonnu Smith is not a great first option for tight end. But 2 guys I really like just went in Ingram and Njoku. Okay, an option coming up at 117. Instead of McCarthy, actually, I may go Dak Prescott, who I think is severely undervalued in best ball, especially because Dallas doesn't really have a running back. They seem like they're just going to pass all the time. They still got CeeDee Lamb. I don't really know who their second receiver is, but I also really like Jake Ferguson, so I could take Ferguson back coming around a little early at 124 and get a Dak and Ferguson stack going, and then just hope that McCarthy comes back to me at 141, which is definitely possible. And Drake May just goes at 115. I didn't know he was on the board, actually. And we also have Justin Herbert on the board. Might be a dumb move, but I'm going Prescott. I like him, honestly, more than Herbert. And now let's see if this guy goes J.J. McCarthy with either this pick or 122. Seeing that Herbert's on the board, he could go Herbert for his second quarterback. Instead of stacking Addison with McCarthy, he goes Jordan Mason, another Viking, which may be a move to set him up for 122, taking McCarthy. All right, so I'm calling another audible here. I'm going Colston Loveland, who has been dropping, and then we're going to just hope that McCarthy comes back to us. Addison guy can't take him before us at 141, so that would be ideal. And I didn't realize Ferguson was ranked so low on DraftKings. He's ranked at 144 ADP. So we could get him at 148. Or if McCarthy gets taken, we could get him at 141 still. Okay, and Ferguson goes at 139. So we're going to have an unstacked Dak Prescott. Unfortunately for now, we'll take another Cowboys receiver as a flyer, but we're going to go McCarthy as long as he doesn't get swooped here. If he does, I think we're going to go Tua to stack with Jonnu, who's our top tight end. All right, so we're taking McCarthy. Now at 148, the question is, do we go another quarterback and go Tua, or do we take our third tight end? And we honestly probably need a 5th running back. And running back definitely getting pretty thin. A guy that I like more than most people is Tank Bigsby, even though there's 2 other backs there. I also like Jadon Blue, who is, I think he's a pretty good pass catcher, if I'm not mistaken, to go with Dak. And Jadon Blue just got taken, which I think would have been kind of a genius pick. Do we come back with Tua? Tight ends, Mason Taylor. I don't love tight ends right now, so I might get my third later and go Tua. All right, we called another audible. We went Rico Dowdle, possibly too early, but I needed a 5th running back. He's a handcuff for Chuba Hubbard. I think an okay pick. Third tight end with 172. And there was a slight run on tight ends, but Brenton Strange is still there, who I like. And I think I'm going to take him if he comes to me here at 172. If not, I don't love the Cade Otton play. I could consider taking another wide receiver already. Okay, well, Otton goes, and then they left me Strange. So I'm taking Strange at 172, and I think extremely slept on DraftKings. Say on Underdog, he's ranked his ADP's in like the 150s maybe. All right, for this pick, it's going another running back for my 6th running back. I was going to go Devin Neal. Now it's looking like I'm going Giddens. 189. Oh, someone just took Wan'Dale Robinson. Or I could go Tolbert, which I'm going to do because I do have an unstacked Dak. And Tolbert honestly might be their wide receiver too. I don't really know who else it would be. The Panthers guy they traded for, I think it was Panthers. I can't even remember that guy's name right now. Mingo, Jonathan Mingo, was he on the Panthers? I can't even remember where he was before being traded. But Tolbert for my fifth receiver in an insanely stacked receiver room with Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, T Higgins, and Rashee Rice. So at 196, I'm hoping the Colts guy comes back around, the Colts rookie running back. And there are some tight ends. If I want to go a fourth tight end, I do like later. Justice Hill goes, who I was thinking about as well. Just because he catches so many passes and breaks long ones, it seems like all the time. Okay, so we're up next. Will Shipley or Giddens? I like Ollie Gordon as well. Rookie running back on the Colts projects to be like their second guy, but who knows? Jonathan Taylor seems like misses 5 games every single year as well. So I think a decent pick with the Colts, could absolutely shut down Taylor late in the season too, and Giddens could pop in this pretty weak running back room that I have right now late in the season. So I don't mind that. And I believe on Underdog, he's getting taken like in the 170s. So getting him at 196, pretty good. So as we're coming back around with my last 3 picks, I think I'm going to go receiver here and then take a fourth tight end on DraftKings. I think it's totally fine to take 4 tight ends because you have 20 players instead of 18 like Underdog. And I think I'm going to get another running back as well, which would make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would make 7 running backs, 6 receivers, 4 tight ends, 3 quarterbacks. All right, possibly a dumb pick. I went Darius Slayton, and, I was thinking about Juwan Johnson. I was also thinking about Westbrook Akine, who's on Miami now. And depending on what's going on with Tyreek Hill, he could be good with Tua. But I have 6 receivers now, so Slayton I feel like is a safe guy. Seems like he's kind of that receiver that just every week gets like 50 receiving yards and 5 catches, and then if he gets a touchdown in there, he'll show up in your lineup. So we're coming back around quickly. Gonna look at tight end. I'm gonna look at Jatavion Sanders. Or should I wait and see if he comes to me at 237 and get a running back? So we got Smith and Ollie Gordon here and Hunter. I'm going to go Smith, another rookie running back. I believe he's being taken a lot higher than that on Underdog. Okay, now my question is to go 3 tight end and take another receiver for a 7th receiver. And I think the only way I would do that is if a stacking opportunity comes up, like Westbrook Akine. If he comes up, I want to see like Mingo. Mingo's not really getting drafted. Westbrook Akine barely getting drafted. But Jatavion Sanders is there. Another guy to think about would be Turpin with Dallas. But man, he was pretty rough last year. He had 2 games in double digits, but they're pretty big games, 17 and 14, and may play more receiver this year because Dallas is lacking in receivers. As Westbrook Akine went, and okay, is Sanders still there? So Jatavion Sanders is still there. I'm gonna go 4 tight end and take Sanders. Okay, so recap for me. I plan to go heavy running back and wait on receiver in this draft. Did not work out like that with pick 4 as Jefferson came to me as this guy took Robinson 3. And then A.J. Brown. I just can't pass up on A.J. Brown in the 20s. I think he should be taken so much earlier. So honestly, my plan was to get a falling A.J. Brown no matter what, because I just think he's ridiculously being drafted on FanDuel. And then T. Higgins, I've seen him being taken at like 21. He comes to me at 28, and I would have taken Chase Brown. I probably even would have took Josh Jacobs at pick 28, but both those guys taken a couple picks before me. And then we had Rashee Rice come up, who fell. I think his ADP on DraftKings was like 39, and I know on Underdog he's rising up now. And then we finally went running back with pick 5, got Chuba Hubbard, who I might have taken him a few picks before ADP. Coming back, we got Judkins at 69, who it was pretty high, but Harvey didn't fall to me, who was severely dropping here. I would have took him, but we get Judkins. And then we come back around, get another running back in Johnson, who I took instead of Aaron Jones, which I think I'm okay with. And then coming back around, we finally got our first tight end at 93. Got another rookie running back in Scatabo. And then finally got our first quarterback, who we reached for Dak Prescott, because I just think Prescott is severely underrated, but we could have had Drake May. It was really close to us getting Drake May. And then I took Loveland, who absolutely slid down to 124. I think his ADP was in the 90s, I'm pretty sure. And then we came back and got J.J. McCarthy to pair with Justin Jefferson. We took another quarterback, our third in Tua, to pair with our tight end in Jonnu Smith. Then our fifth running back, we took Rico Dowdle, a handcuff for Hubbard. Then we got Brenton Strange, I think like 10 picks past ADP. So that was a good value at tight end. And then we took Tolbert to finally get a little bit of a stack with Dak Prescott. And then we got Giddens, who fell, Slayton as a safe wide receiver 7. And then Smith, another flyer at running back. I think our 7th running back. And Slayton was our 6th running back. And then we got a 4th tight end in Sanders, who I think has big upside. So definitely some interesting drafters over on DraftKings. I touched on it a little bit. But like this guy took Josh Allen, and I don't think took a single pass catcher from Buffalo. It took Ray Davis. Oh, and he got Curtis Samuel late. This guy took Herbert and Goff, and I think he took Goff like earlier than where he's been going, but doesn't have a single Detroit Lion until he got Tesla at 194. And he's got an unstacked Herbert. I believe this guy took unstacked Knicks, Lawrence Smith, and Bryce Young as far as stacking them with receivers and tight ends. This guy took Lamar Jackson 31st, and I don't think took a single Baltimore Raven after that. Then we had this guy take Jaden Daniels and not take a single Commander, receiver, or tight end, and take Purdy without any 49ers. But I'm jealous of these guys start getting Puka and Nico and St. Brown and Brian Thomas. And I mean, I can go on and on. This guy took Hurts, Mayfield, I believe both unstacked. This guy took Burrow out of nowhere way too early, unstacked. I'm pretty sure, and Stafford and Darnold, it looks like also unstacked. So yeah, kind of an insane draft room here, but I think I got a stacked team. So let me know what you guys think. Watch that first video. And you can sign up for DraftKings Fantasy if you haven't. It's different than the sportsbook. You're going to get some kind of bonus that they have going on for signing up with the link down below. So check that out and check out the video on the end card. We'll see you in another.